Hello again, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for October 25th, 2024. Hope you all have had an excellent week out there in the financial markets. And as always, we're here to take a look at the most recent VantagePoint AI predictive forecast. So if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and click on the link in the description down below, and you can get yourself signed up for a live demonstration and learn all the specifics about how these predictive technologies are helping traders make much better trading decisions out there in the marketplace. Now, like we typically do, we can look at the S&P 500 over these given spans of time just to get a sense of where things are at. And so year to date, you see this takes us up about 22, almost 23%. Over the past 12 months, we're up about 36% on the S&P and really having one of the best years ever as far as the S&P 500 is concerned, with things running a little bit sideways on the indices. But still seeing some really nice opportunities out there in the market. So we'll go ahead and start out here. We've got shares of MRVL, and a really good example of how all of these predictive indicators actually work together. So the first thing that you'll notice is that each one of these candles that you see there, those are going to represent full and complete trading days. This all works off of end of day data, and right up against the price data, where the first thing that we want to take note of is this black line and blue line value. So the black line that you're seeing there, well, that is actually a simple moving average, or what we refer to as the actual simple moving average. And this is a very common technical analysis indicator. In this case, it's a 10 period. So it would just look back over the previous 10 close prices, add those all together, and then divide by 10. And it acts as a good baseline to really let traders, and actually for our purposes, let us know where market prices have already been. But of course, traders want to be ahead of that next move in the marketplace. And so what we're able to do is compare what you might call a lagging moving average that only really looks at past prices that have already occurred, and also only looks at one market in isolation. And we compare that to our proprietary predicted moving average. And for this number, which is essentially a prediction of future prices moving forward, well, for that number to get calculated and plotted, well, this is where the technology of artificial neural networks come into play, and they're performing what we would call intermarket analysis. And so if you've done a little research on neural networks, well, you understand that they can take in huge amount of data, understand very subtle relationships, and then produce highly accurate forecasts. And so what VantagePoint is able to do is look at other markets that are known to drive and influence the future price of, in this case, MRVL, a tech stock. And so that could be things like the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, right? Those big major indices. But there are very subtle relationships, sometimes leading or lagging, sometimes positive or inverse correlations. And so what the software is able to do is understand all of that, whether it be on other individual stocks, other ETF groups, and even things like global interest rates and global commodities and currencies. And so it really takes this global approach in producing these forecasts, and we can really interpret those forecasts via these suite of predictive indicators. And so whenever that blue line crosses above the black line, well, it's suggesting average prices, the overall trend is going to start moving higher. And we can see since that crossover, that predicted moving average moving above, we're up about 13% in just the past 14 trading days. But what's really exciting about this is that there's really other parts of the overall forecast, and this really gets updated every single trading day. So we can think of this as the most recent prediction. And if you look at the very bottom of the chart, you'll see this bar that goes from green to red, back to green. And that gets updated every day. And what it's doing is anticipating short-term strength or weakness in the market. And so over a very wide number of markets, this is a very high level of accuracy attached to it. But again, it's only looking very short term so that traders can understand that, okay, well, the overall trend is up. Well, you may want to expect some sideways or potentially weakness over the next couple of trading days. But as long as that blue line, again, remains above the black line, well, the overall trend is bullish. And so we see here, again, this neural index getting a little bearish. We had a little bit of a down day, predicted low, predicted to go a little bit lower here. But again, using all of these tools to make those better trading decisions out there in the marketplace, whether that be you're a short-term day trader or possibly swing and position trading. And so nice move in MRVL there. Here's shares of Live Nation, and this trend lasting a little bit longer. And what you'll notice is that going all the way back to September now. So this is, really a month and a half long. You've only had 3 days out of all of those trading days where the neural index was actually bearish. You see, we actually get a little sideways here, potentially a little sideways happening currently, a little consolidation where the market runs sideways for a couple of days. but a very, very strong and bullish trend as you see that blue line cross above the black line. In this case, you've got about a 20% rally here in just the past 32 trading days. 500 shares are up about $10,000 in profit. But let's take a look at those predicted highs and lows. So what you need to remember is that every single day you're provided this daily range before the trading day occurs, and then the actual market data will fill in that space against the prediction. So we can actually see how accurate all of these predictions are right up against the actual market data. And so you see here as this trend gets started, when that neural index and the overall trend is bullish, you see you get a lot of momentum. So you see a lot of momentum picking up, a little bit of volatility here, but moving down towards these predicted lows. Again, a dip here as you oftentimes around weekends move down to these previous predicted low levels, then that overall trend resumes. But even as this market goes sideways, doing a great job of picking out the lower end of the range, but also the higher end of this if you want to take profits and reset some of that positioning. So really nice opportunity there in shares of Live Nation. Here we have CNX Resources, so actually an energy stock. Here that blue line crossing above the black line. A couple of these periods where that neural index again will warn of that consolidation. But since those forecasts have come through, we've gotten a lot of strength in this market. And really the big thing here is about adapting, right? So understanding that as the trend is up, great. But if you start to see those crossovers move below the black line, well, then you understand, look, this is something that you may want to actually short or take profits on. Here you see about a 35% rally over 29 trading days. Again, we can look at those predicted highs and lows over the duration. And you see even here, as you start to get this consolidation in the market, the software is telling you expect these predicted ranges to be lower, right? So these were the days provided before the trading day occurs saying, look for more weakness. And if you're actually willing to buy down on that weakness, well, you get a great entry in that overall uptrend and then plenty of levels to add to the positioning. So again, we see here a little consolidation, market continuing to rally higher there. So really nice move in shares of CNX overall. From that forecast getting bullish, we have a 35% rally in just the past 30 trading days. Lithium stocks have been doing well. Here's Sigma Lithium and a little bit of a gappy stock, right? So you get little gaps and a lot of volatility as far as day-to-day price action, but that's where the software does a good job of adapting and understand how to measure that volatility moving forward. So we see this blue line cross above the black line. Neural index very bullish at the start of this move. But you see about a 39% rally in just 32 trading days in some of these cheaper stocks going from the 10s up to the 14s. But of course, it's about managing the opportunity. So if you're able to get involved in that market, add to your positioning effectively. Again, we see it one of these weekend days where you shoot down, hit some of those previous levels. But the overall trend very bullish. So we notice that really within a couple of trading days, the market is back in that uptrend and resuming its directional move here. So nice move out of Sigma Lithium. Here's Sprouts Farmers Market, very similar situation. We can of course take a look at those predicted highs and lows and multiple levels to accumulate a position. So you see pretty much 4 days where the market is closing above that level after soon hitting those predicted lows and then bouncing higher. Again here, moving lower and then continuing that overall uptrend as shares continue to advance. Another one of these, I bet you this is around a weekend. And again, really offering good levels so that the trader knows, look, if I want to take a bullish position in this market, where should I be looking to accumulate that position? And certainly when you get ahead in profits, well, that's where you can be a little bit more aggressive here. We see the market's gone up about 16% just in the past 30 trading days, but probably about a dozen entries there as the market grinds higher here. So we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Really almost every single day this week, the market went down to that predicted low and has immediately traded higher there. So really nice move there. And lastly here, just shares of Wingstop. So, everything isn't going straight up. And certainly when you start to see weakness, especially from these forecasts, well, you want to take note here. So this stock's done really well, about $400 a share, but we start to see this weakness come through that blue line crossing below the black line. And you'll notice this conflict here, right? Where the neural index goes bullish. You get those subsequent couple of days of price action, but very clearly saying, look, the overall trend is lower. And as all of those predictive indicators get bearish, we really see that momentum start to heat up to the downside. So about a 15% decline just in the past 18 trading days here in shares of Wingstop. And just keeping things very simple. So understanding that we have these predictive tools, We can then manage our trading style based off of really the time frames attached to these tools, and constantly identify new trading opportunities with the help of VantagePoint's IntelliScan. So rather than scanning through indicators that are really just reconfiguring past prices, what we can do is configure these to really fine tune things and look from a predictive standpoint of what's likely to happen next, and really hone in on the best trading opportunities out there. So once again, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for October 25th, 2024. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck and bye for now.